one of the World Chess Championship match. This is between Liren and Gukesh, and this game one was actually exciting. A lot of tactics actually, and I'll be showing them with you. And at some point, I'll ask you to pause the video and try and find out the best move. Now, this World Chess Championship game one opened with the move e4, and you know, Dean went for the French defense. You know, Gukesh, being well prepared, played the move d4, and they went into the pulsing variation. And actually, I love this variation they played because it's more classical and it comes with a lot of positional moves. And here Dean played a5, and Gukesh developed his knight. I love the way Gukesh is playing this. This is pretty standard. This shows that he's actually well prepared and didn't take small space on the queen side. And here, Dean plays his bishop out, showing that come here to play. He came out here seriously well prepared. And this move now is some sort of, you know, indicating you want to start an attack on the king side and also taking space on the king side. Now he brought queen, and Gukesh seeing this says, okay, let me develop my bishop in case I want to castle. And now this is a very good move as it actually punctures the queen side position. And this is top level chess, so you don't expect any ill play or any inaccuracies from them. And Dean captured and Gukesh pushed the pawn. Now if you actually play this, the resulting position is definitely not better for white. Now as I said, this is top level chess. Honestly, I don't even know what is going on here. All I can see is that after he captured this piece is up for grabs, and white's position is going to be hell going forward. So with that being said, you know, being very pretty standard, he first of all pushes back the queen before taking the pawn, and he takes the pawn with the knight. Now the engine prefers that you take the pawn with the bishop. I honestly don't know why, but it's the engine, so it obviously sees better. He took with the knight, and Dean brought out his other knight, and this is all pretty standard stuff. Now the engine was saying go here, but I really don't see anything that happens after here, because white can either go here or go here. All is fine for nope. And I made the mistake myself. The black queen cannot go to d7 because then it hangs the knight on b6. So it must go here if it's actually attacked. But that didn't happen in the game. And we are getting closer to the tactics I spoke about. And here white castles. And this is actually nice. He jumps in with the queen and he moves his bishop back. Now the engine was saying that just give her the bishop. But obviously, as I said before, sometimes the engine takes some weeds, so you must not listen to it. But either way, he's actually professional than most chess players. He goes back and then develops his knight, and the game continues. Now after this capture, the question now is what to capture back with. Now the engine is saying capture back with the bishop, the bishop, the bishop. But I don't see the use. I think the knight is actually better. And now, finally, Dean utilizes this his pawn he pushed in the queen side. And this knight, if you are asking, is a threat to white's position as it's permanently stuck there. No piece can challenge it as it's defended by the rook. And black comes and attacks the pawn. White defends it and the game continues. Now, now I want you to actually pause the video and ask yourself, what if white captures this pawn? You can see that immediately white captures this black captures this pawn. He's making he's actually making a position hell for himself as this is played, and he has to go back obviously, and he capture. You are defending your pawn and this knight is undefended. Now this is the best move according to the engine, and the position is still better for black. So that cannot be done. Obviously this is a world chess championship. We don't expect cheap inaccuracies here. So black comes in with the queen, and it was at this moment that Gukesh sort of played an inaccuracy or a minor blunder. He moved the knight queen back, and this move gave the room for this bishop to come in. And this position looks normal for normal players, but trust me, it's not. Now I want you to pause the video. What do you think is Dean Relin's purpose for bringing the rook all the way from c8 to c4? Now you can see that a threat is made. If white just makes a casual move, black can actually sacrifice his rook here, and no matter what white captures with, I mean, the bishop is gone, and the position is even worse for white now. So obviously Dane saw it and kicked away the bishop, and the bishop cannot retreat. He must be active, and he comes in attacking this hanging pawn on e5, attacking the hanging pawn on e5, and white moves his queen, and he accepts the pawn. Now the engine was saying here, take with the bishop, take with the bishop, but as I said, the engine doesn't it's all knowing. Human beings aren't. So Dean took with the pawn, and it's at this position that Gukesh played this knight move, and Dean captured the second pawn and gave up his bishop pair. Now it looks like this position is actually playable for white, but the engine is saying it's reading a minus 2.9, and now Dean played this sort of classy move, cutting off the queen's eye of sight from the bishop, and if white is not careful, he can actually lose the bishop. But obviously that will not happen in a world chess championship match, and he defends the bishop. Now after this trade occurs, Dean comes up with an interesting pawn push, that is pawn to e5. Now if you take this, black will simply take this, and black is doing perfectly fine. On the other hand, if you decide to take this, Gukesh went for, you can check the king, and white blocks with his bishop, and white develops black develops his own bishop. Now you cannot capture this pawn on d5 because your bishop is pinned to your king, and that is why white moved his bishop back so he can actually capture the pawn, and obviously Dean defended it. Now Gukesh is suffering here, just so that you know, and after a couple of moves the position was completely lost for Gukesh. And after this check, so after black gives a check to the king and picks up this pawn, Gukesh gives a check, and there's really nothing much he can do as he resigns. Tanya was saying he was saving up energy for game 2, and we really hope to see how game 2 will go.
Now this game had an effect on the, you know, on the view of Dane, because many people are saying this will be a walk in the path for Gukesh, this and that. But with this first game, you can see that Deng is actually back, and is back for real. So fingers crossed. Let's see how he perform in game 2. Peace out. But before I peace out, please like, share, and subscribe. Now, peace out.